Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another episode of the CFTV preview show, the Chelsea Fan TV preview show with myself and also Kev as well. Thanks for joining me, Kev. It's Christmas time. It's almost Christmas time. So, Merry
Yeah.
Christmas to everyone watching. We're almost there. And we've got a game coming up against Wolves on Christmas Eve. Such a weird time to have a game.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong, the last time they played this game, Kev, was in
It's 50s.
1992.
It's 60s, I think. A long time ago. Second ever game. Second ever game to be played in the Premier League history.
Second
On
ever.
Christmas Eve. Second ever game on Christmas Eve. So yeah. All about that, isn't it, for him? All about that. But for the lads travelling from London, not very good. 1 o'clock kickoff. Game will be finishing round about 3:30ish, let's say. So you'll be getting back Christmas Eve about 8, 9 o'clock at night. So not good for the lads that have got families, but it shows the loyalty of us to go. Look, I'm travelling 5, 7 minutes away from my mum and dad's, but for the lads coming from London, fair play to them to be coming on Christmas Eve with the trains and everything else. Fair play.
Man, it's ridiculous, honestly, man. And it's so funny. The Premier League, they talk about inclusion and wanting to make fans a huge part of what they're doing. They don't care about the fans, mate. You do not care about the fans if you are. Why would you do this? It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, the only
money,
reason it does make sense,
money,
yeah,
money. TV rights. Just think, it's a Sunday. Everyone's going to be in the house Sunday. Everyone's going to be watching that game. I think how many millions of people are going to be tuned in to watching that game, not only in the country but globally. So it's just a money making for them. That's the only reason why I can think of.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's something, isn't it? And it is nice for some families to watch the football together in a weird way. I suppose if it was a tradition, it wouldn't be frowned upon. But because it's not traditional, it's just strange. I know. Obviously, we usually do the Boxing Day and stuff like that, and I love Boxing Day football. I think that's fantastic. And actually, you do have the excuse to go out and watch the game because you've already spent Christmas Eve and Christmas with your family. So now fans are being forced to make the decision: do I spend Christmas Eve with my kids if you've got a family, or do I spend it at the football? And you can't win either way. It's a lose-lose situation.
It's a lose-lose, but I've just been really lucky with it, Alex, because I was going down to the West Midlands anyway to see my mum and dad. So I've kind of like tied it all in, bringing the kids to see my mum and dad Christmas Eve, and then go
Yeah,
back to home. So in my position, because my family live in that area, it's not been a bad thing. But for the families that are travelling from London, here, there, and everywhere, it's fit you be getting home. But what time of night? And you gotta. It's not good, especially when it's going to be early kickoff. Lads will be travelling down 9 o'clock in the morning, getting getting on the piss, and everything else. But so by the time they get home, they're going to be bladdered on the night time and then waking up late on Christmas Day. So it's not good at all. You haven't thought about us fans at all with this idea. But like you said, money comes first for these people. They don't give a fuck about the fans. Money, money, money.
yeah. I mean, speaking of, well, we'll move off that topic because I think there's been enough spoken about that generally on social media. Everyone's unhappy about it, but there's nothing we can do. Um, Obviously, there's been quite a few things that have actually come out, Kev. I mean, Reece James faces up to 4 months out, placing his Euro 2024 hopes in jeopardy, and he's set to have surgery in Finland on the hamstring injury that will rule him out for 3 to 4 months. But it's quite nice. I mean, you said it off camera. Reece James has come to his senses, and he must have been given some advice as well. It was about time, mate, because the injuries were stacking up,
PP.
and
Yeah.
if he didn't get it sorted out, we could just have this problem for years and years to
Jack
come.
Wilshere. Charlie hit the nail on the head. He's Chelsea's Jack Wilshere. And funny enough, this time last year, Nottingham Forest away, first game of the year. We was there. Reece James was out. And we were saying the same thing. He needs to have surgery. He comes back for a few weeks and then he's out again. And it's not even been a few weeks now. It's been a game and not even a full game. 60 minutes and he's out of game. He needs to get surgery on it. Even if he's out for the season, get surgery on it, come back stronger. Because it's going to... Like, I suffered with groin and hamstring injuries when I was playing football myself. And there's no recovery for it. As soon as you make a slight turn or you run at a certain pace or see if you change pace, bang, it's gone like that with an instance. You can't stretch, you can't do nothing to try and what's the word I'm using for? Probably not to pick up the injury. So the best thing for him to do is have the surgery on it, and then hopefully the muscle damage, the muscle tissue will stiffen up, and then we can see the best of Reece James moving forward, because it's not been the greatest 2 years of his career so far.
No, not at all. But I'm quite happy we've got Gusto back. I mean, I'm presuming he'll start against Wolves, but actually, when you look at the congestion we have, and December's always, a busy time. Again, people will criticise Poch for not starting some players, but I like the fact that he eases them in, and there's no excuses or no criticism with Pochettino on the way he handled Reece James. And that is a nice way to look at it. It's nice to look at it and say, you know what, the manager managed this player the best way he could. And actually, ultimately, it's the player who needs to take action and responsibility for not getting surgery. So I think it's a really smart way we've dealt with our injuries so far under Pochettino, especially if you compare it to Graham Potter rushing back Chilwell, rushing back Reece James last season as well, and just really not treating the players like animals, but not understanding that these guys need time to get back to their best, whether that's fitness or sharpness. So I think that is one thing. People criticize a lot of things about Pochettino, but I will give him credit for that. And hopefully we'll have a few more options against Wolves, because Christopher Nkunku's coming back as well. So he made his debut the other day. Didn't really see much of him, but we ended up coming back, getting the win against Newcastle, winning with a penalty shootout. I mean, what do you think? What do you expect from Nkunku in a Chelsea shirt, Kev?
Not too much at the start. Just basically just slowly bring him into the mix. Like you said, Pochettino's getting it right, not rushing him back. He came on after, I think it's 15 minutes left on Wednesday. On Tuesday, 15 minutes. So that's fair play. Just slowly bring them in. So 15 minutes, and then hopefully against Wolves, give him half an hour, give him a full 45, and then we can start. There's no point rushing him back. He can be the difference between us finishing 10th and finishing 7th this year, literally. He's got the quality that we need in that attacking midfield area. I think Palmer, when he's pushed out on the right hand side, is a lot better than when he's in the central role. Not saying he's been bad in the central role, but I think Nkunku brings you a bit more in the area, so it's going to be important for us. So just slowly bring him in. It's not a rush.
Yeah, well, especially when you look at that number 10, number 9 link up that we had in pre-season with him and Jackson, or just the interchanging with the players. We didn't really have the chemistry so far this season consistently like we had in pre-season. So it'd be nice to see Nkunku getting in the squad and also playing alongside Mudryk, who, by the way, Kev, you said wasn't good enough, and he has proved me right and you wrong. Another goal. Come on, Kev.
He's got 3 goals in a year, Alex. Come on, bro,
Kev,
man.
he did it.
Come on,
Kev,
bro.
Kev.
Bro, just give it six more months of him going this way, and then you'll get my tick.
You're telling me right now, Madrid shouldn't start for Chelsea?
He should start, yeah. I'm not denying that. But if he starts, he's got to go and get another goal or assist. Consistency.
He is, though.
I can't just over a short. He's got 3 goals in a year, Alex. That's not a consistent
Kev, you're not. You got to look at
as much as he's had limited space and he's had stop starts and the team's not performed. Doesn't matter, Alex. 3 goals for 88 million pound players not good enough, bro. Simple as that. It's not good enough. He's got a long way to go. Fair play to forgetting the goal. I think he was very lucky. Trippier, bad mistake. We all know he loves Chelsea. Give it to him on the play. Got the goal. thank you very much. Well done to him. And hopefully he can push on from there. But if you're going to ask me if he's the player that we're looking for moving forward right now, he's got a long way to go. But he's on the right path. And this time last year, he was nowhere near it. Now I think Pochettino's got him a tiny bit of confidence and he's going the right way, which is good.
Definitely. I mean, as one thing I will say as well that we didn't see in preseason was much of Mudryk. I mean, he played a little bit, but when you had Chukwuemeka and Nkunku and Jackson, Sterling all getting minutes, there wasn't really a space for Mudryk. And now I think what we're going to see is Mudryk on the left a lot more.
That's his position. If he really wants it now, that's his for the taking. No one. He's the 88 million star boy that we all hoped about. If you want to play for Chelsea, if you want to prove yourself, you earn the right. Go and get the goal like he did on Tuesday against Wolverhampton. Put good crosses in the box, make the right decisions, get yourself another goal, and that will be your position moving forward. The ball's in his court. There's no excuses for him not to be in. We can't be sitting there in 3 months saying he hasn't had the opportunities. If he hasn't had the opportunities, it's down to himself because that position should be his.
Absolutely. And then we'll see Sterling on the right side, Jackson up top. But I mean, there's obviously a good chance we could get a striker in January. And it's going to be interesting when Chukwuemeka comes back as well. For me, Kev, he's a starter. So, you're going to be chopping and changing the formations. How can you fit all these players in? But I think we can. And I think Pochettino needs to, because one thing we've lacked is flair. And now we've got a few players coming with a little bit of flair, and don't get me wrong. We haven't had that consistency, that 6 month run, even 3 months, Kev. We haven't had like a proper run at all. But I do think that we can get there with a fit squad and Carabao Cup as well, man. I mean, we haven't really spoken too much about Newcastle, but I mean, what did you take from that game? And are you happy with what you've seen? Do you think we're progressing?
I ain't gonna lie, I missed the last goal. It got to about 70, 80 minutes. Mudryk put in a poor, I think you remember that cross, he put in a poor over it cross. And I thought, Mudryk again. So I just turned my laptop off. And then I woke up about an hour later, 2-1 Chelsea, one of penalties. I was like, wow. And I seen the goal, brilliant. But in answer to your question, the game first half, a bit like what we've seen all season. When you've got a left-sided centre-back playing left-back and a right-sided centre-back playing right-back, you can clearly see where the problem is right now. Going forward in the wide positions. When you've got James or Chilwell, they'll stick to the touchline. There'll be an outlet. They'll overlap. They'll look to push the ball forward. They'll look to get balls in the box. What's happening is we're inviting pressure on ourselves game after game after game. And it's only because Newcastle didn't come out and press us. The only time they did come out and press us, what happened? They got a goal. But the majority of the game, they sat back and we were just trying to open the doors. But from Disasi to Silva to Colwell, to Bashir to Colwell, left back to right back, left back to right back. As soon as we brought Gusto on one side, but Maitland on one side, what happens? Wing backs get forward because they're naturally capable of making decisions to get forward. Overlaps. Gusto's ball in the box. What comes from Gusto's ball in the box? A goal. So all I can say is we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot playing players in the wrong position. Enzo started in the number 10 again. Wasn't happy with that. I just don't think he's got I think with Enzo, he wants to be playing the ball forward. He's more like a Fabregas. He wants to look up and play balls over. With his back turned to goal, he doesn't do anything for us at the moment. I think you need an Nkunku, Palmer, someone who's going to receive the ball on the half turn. But we need to just play the players in the right position. Simple as that. We need to play. Maitland is a left back. Don't start Colwell against Wolves. Start Maitland left back. Start Gusto right back. Simple as that.
Yeah. I don't know if Pochettino's really looking at Maatsen as a tactical decision. I just don't think that he likes him. He doesn't rate him.
Nah, he hasn't got confidence in him. It's clearly there to see. But think about it. It doesn't matter if you don't rate someone or not. If you've got a left back, an international caliber left back, as Maitland, he plays for Holland, just play him. Just regardless if you're gonna sell him or you don't get on with him, you've got two of your left backs out. Just start your left back. Start your centre back. Because teams are going to keep finding us out. And how many times have we said it this year where teams have pressed us because we're playing the ball left to right? When you've got Mason, he's going to want to pass the ball forward. He's going to want to make an overlap and run. He's going to want to put the ball into the mix. Howell and Disasi are not doing that because it's not their natural position. So Pochettino is kind of shooting himself in the foot on a weekly basis. Just play players in the right position, and we'll start seeing a bit better performances.
I think if he was playing him as well, if he was playing Maatsen and Maatsen wasn't performing, then he dropped him, I'd go, fair enough. You gave it a go. But we haven't really tested him at all, even as a left back. I mean, it's always in the midfield or as a winger. Very strange way of looking at it. But also,
even against Newcastle, touching upon what he said, why would you bring Gusto on left back when you got Maatsen on the bench? And then 5 minutes later, I think, oh, you know what? I'll put Gusto right back and put Maatsen left back. Obviously, something's going on between him and the player. But, Posh, if you're listening to this now, just play him left back. Just give him a go. There's nothing, you can't do no wrong with playing Maatsen left back now. We could play for 2-3 games and we think, fucking hell, he's better than Cucurella and Chilwell combined. You never know. Just give him a chance.
100%. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right, Kev. He's shooting himself in the foot. In fact, the other day on the podcast, we did a late one last night. We were talking about Pochettino, and me personally, I'm very open about it. I think you've got to support the guy. I think you have to back him. Even if we would have lost against Newcastle, it would have been very difficult to back that. But I just think that's part of it. I think you've got to roll with the punches sometimes. Otherwise, it's not really a process, is it? It's just chop and change whenever you want. It's basically a shit version of what Abramovich did with no success. So I'm saying give the man some time, but I completely agree, mate. Because when I have these debates with Lewis, and we all know what Lewis is like, he goes, well, he did this, his changes weren't good in this game. I say, fucking hell, Lewis, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
What I can say to that is there's no point putting agendas on Pochettino right now. There's no chance in the hell that he's going this year. Even if we drop to 15th, we will not get rid of Posh. Posh is I could say the position in the league is slightly his fault, but he needs to learn very quickly. Playing players in the wrong position is doing yourself out of points. It's doing yourself out of consistent runs of games. So, yeah, I agree with Lewis on certain factors. But to say he's not good enough in this and that's too soon to see. Give him a few more months. Give him another transfer window. Because who knows? If people are very wishy-washy. The fan base is turning a bit like Arsenal. With Arteta, for instance. Look at that. Within 6 months, Arteta out. The board, give him time, give him players, and look now, the top of the league. You can't be two. Just give him time, see what he's got, and make a choice and make a decision in a year's time. But for now, we can't be talking about getting him gone too soon.
No, the players aren't ready-made players anyway, so how can you expect ready-made results? That's the way I look at it. Let the guy develop them. But for me, it's ticking along quite nicely. It's up and down, which is what I expected. I think if we would have kept losing games, kept dropping points, then we're having a different conversation because there's nothing. There's not even a glimpse of hope, but we are seeing signs, and that is all you can ask for from a young team. And then hopefully signs turn into realistic challenges for titles. But listen, Kev, I mean, we can all talk about Mudric's goal and his impact, and Pochettino, the substitution. But Petrovic was a massive, player for us as well. He saved a penalty in the shootout. He probably put Kieran Trippier off for his penalties. Got a few mind games going on there with the hand signals and everything like that. I mean, a lot of people are saying his distribution is already better than Sanchez, and the fact that he can save a few shots as well. I mean, is there any reason to drop him?
People just make assumptions way too quick. Some of the stuff that I see, I'll just laugh all the time. The guy's played 10, 15 minutes against Everton and he's playing a game against Newcastle and he's the best thing since sliced bread already. The guy needs to prove himself, bro. He needs a good run in the team. So far, he's done well, but you can't say he's better than Sanchez right away. He's only played what 100 and something minutes. How can you judge someone or make a decision on someone so quick? But yeah, it was good to see. His distribution was good. Pulled off a couple of brilliant save off that penalty save. Brilliant save. Like I said, he looked like he was playing FIFA. Pointing one way and dove the other way. Very
Yeah.
good mind games. So far he's doing well, but in answer to your question, too soon to make a decision.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just a weird time. It's just a weird time to support Chelsea. Like I got a DM the other day, Kev. Well, last night actually. And I was hanging out with a mate, and I got this really nice DM saying, "Oh, I love what you're doing with the channel. It seems like since I've started watching and you started being on the channel, Chelsea have just been worse and worse." I was like, "Man, you're not wrong. We are so bad, but." These are the moments we live for, mate, because once it gets better, we're going to appreciate it so much more. And I grew up when Abramovich had just bought the club. So I've only known success at Chelsea. It's a bit of a weird feeling.
This is why the real fans have been patient. But he talked to your old man, talked to my old man. They've been around from when Chelsea had nothing. There wasn't even anything. So my dad's seen his team win everything now. My dad's posh in. He's patient. He understands that things take time. Nothing, even myself, things ain't going to happen overnight. When I started watching Chelsea, we was growing as a team. We was winning FA Cups. We was growing. When Roman come in, it was instant success. But that's only because we had probably the best manager in world football at the time. And Abramovich went and brought proven players. The model's different now. We know that in January we need a couple of more experienced players so we can push and get up to them top 4 places. But I'm very patient with Poch. I think Poch is a decent manager. Like I said, tactically he hasn't got it right in most games, but only time will tell. Even if we finish 8th place, it's an improvement. But for everyone to be spreading agendas, Pochettino's not the problem right now. He hasn't made none of these signings. It's the people upstairs that have made the signings. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You have to coach and manage what you've got as a squad, but if the team and a squad ain't good enough, how is it the manager's fault?
No, you're absolutely right, Kev. I mean, listen, we're going to round out this preview just by touching on the Wolves game. The Molyneux's always been a really, really weird ground for us. It's a weird away day as well, guys. If you haven't been, it's the only away ground where you're not given an away section like a corner. You're given like the lower stands, the whole thing. So rather than being stacked up in one area and you've got your own little bubble, you spread out. So it's really, really difficult to actually create an atmosphere as an away fan at the Molyneux. But it's actually a great way of watching the game because you never get to sit in those kind of seats on an away day. I don't sit in those seats usually for home games. So quite refreshing. But we always struggle against Wolves, Kev. And, they've never made it easy for us. Can you see us getting anything out of this? Considering as well, we've come from a high. Typically at this point, this is where we drop again and concede.
Wolves are struggling. They last game out, I think it's 3-0 at West Ham. West Ham absolutely tore them to bits. I think I watched bits of that game. Really short squad. They've got rid of the main players in Neves. A couple squad players, got rid of them and not replaced them. And you're starting to see it now. I think O'Neill's done really well. Just to think, they're only 2 points behind us in the league, I think, or 3 points behind us. And they've literally had the squad stripped out.
O'Neill's a fantastic manager, mate. Gary O'Neill is like sensational. Bournemouth, I don't know why Bournemouth got rid of him.
Yeah, it's done brilliant with Brickwear. I think they've got Pedro Neto, he's training this week, I've seen. So he's going to be coming back. He's obviously their main player now. They're there for the taking. I think it's going to be a very, very the atmosphere is going to be electric there. It's Christmas. Wolves will be out in their numbers and they're going to get the ground rocking. It's going to be a difficult game. If we can contain Wolverhampton within the first 15, 20 minutes, don't do anything stupid. I think we're being for a shout. But we all know it's going to be a similar game to Newcastle United. They're going to sit in the numbers, and that's what Wolves do. They beat Tottenham with the same philosophy. They beat City with the same philosophy, with the counter attack. So if we don't mind ourselves and we're not cautious of what they can bring on the counter, that's where they'll get the goals from weekends. So yeah, it's I could say that similar kind of form with both of us, similar kind of position. It's just who's going to take the chances. I think we're probably the favourites with just about, but all depends on our mindset. And key to the game is Posh playing players in the right position. Don't want to see the Sarsi right back. Don't want to see Colwell left back. Play Mason and play Gusto so we can have some threat going down the wings, down our end as well.
Well, if Gusto's fit, I completely agree with you. But if he's not 100%, I don't want him to start, Kev. I would rather take the hit for a game. I'm not saying drop points, but not having a right back necessarily, having Disassi there again, knowing that Gusto is going to be fully fit when he comes back. Do you understand where I'm coming from now? I know I keep touching on it, but people keep talking about playing players in the right position. Maatsen, you're absolutely right. I mean, for fuck's sake, he's a perfectly good player who did very well for a Burnley side, and we're not exactly challenging for Champions League football at the moment. So, well, what is this Chelsea standard we're looking at? But with Gusto, I mean,
the squad players, and Mateson's a very, very good. Look at the teams that are looking at him at the minute. City are looking at him. Villa are looking at him. Who else? I think it was Tottenham or someone. There's about 3 or 4 top 6 teams that want him. So why it's got to do something with his attitude, or he doesn't want to be here, or he's fell out of posh. There's only 1 or 3 reasons why he's being overlooked at the moment. Because why would you play a left back over a left back? This doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So if we play the right position, the players in the right positions, Enzo fell short in the last game. Hopefully he's back in contention. But we've got to be patient in this game. It's going to be hard to break them down. Wolverhampton under Gary O'Neill, a lot more better defensive setup than last year. They're not scoring as many goals.
Pretty much every game, Kev. I mean, I'm looking at.
They're scoring a bit. They're scoring more. Actually, tell you like they're scoring more goals than last year. But it's because they've found a bit more of a system, and I think they relied a lot on Neves to pull a bit of excellence out of the bag. Now Neves is gone. I think they've come together more as a team. So yeah, they've got threats. They've got Cunha. They've got Wang. He's been in form this season. So they've
signed a new contract as well, mate. So he'll be looking
a strong, fast, quick player. So yeah, it's not going to be an easy game. But if we win this game, it's showing me that there's a bit of hope now. Go and lose a game, we're back to square one. It's simple as that. We've got these games. I never expected us to beat Newcastle. I thought they'd beat L. Surprised me again. Go to Wolves. Go and get the 3 points. And then maybe by the end of Jan, we could be 7th or 8th. You never know.
So what would your prediction be for this one, Kev?
Ooh.
I'm going to say 1-1, to be honest with you. I'm going to go with a draw. I think that we will have a moment. I also think that we'll probably make a mistake and Wolves will capitalise. That seems to be quite normal. But I don't see either team having much to win this game, especially if they've got a low block. It's going to be really difficult to penetrate. But then if Nkunku does play, there's a chance I could change my score to 2-1. But off the back, I'm going to go 1-1.
Don't worry. This is the thing we always get carried away. We won 2 back-to-back games, and it's always the same situation. We're always like, we get excited. You probably are right. I could see it being a draw. If it was a betting man, 1-1 draw. And I think that would be a good result, considering the circumstances. The players are going to be wanting to open the presents, the fans. It's a bit of a tricky day. Wolves going to be fully behind them. A draw will be a reasonable result. So I'll go 1-1 as well.
Fair enough. Well, listen, guys, thank you everyone for watching another episode of the CFTV preview. If you've lasted 29 minutes, congratulations. You are on this journey with us, guys. The pain is real, but when we get the good moments, they feel great as well. If you agree or disagree with anything myself or Kev has said, let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel as well. And we will see you very, very soon.